Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Great Start Compensation Support Overview. By the end of this course, providers should be able to recall key information about the Provider Hub after we discuss a Provider Hub overview. Understand Great Start compensation, both previous and future states, after Allegra walks us through some of the critical information for how the Great Start compensation program is here to support your business, and have a high-level understanding of navigation in the Provider Hub after a brief tour. Our expectation for this course is not that you will walk away an expert or know how to do specific tasks. This is a warm-up and overview aimed to show you around before we get into the process. With that, let's get started. The Provider Hub is the home for providers to manage their child care license or certification and access funding opportunities like Great Start. The Provider Hub starts with information management that captures all licensing data required to apply for or maintain certification or licensing. Building on that foundation, funding opportunities like Great Start can then use already entered information to reduce manual entry and simplify the application process. Finally, as more is built out, things like instant reporting, paying fees, and enrollment and attendance can be added. I'm joined today by my counterpart, Allegra, who will be walking us through more information about Great Start specifically. Allegra, take it away.
Thanks, Kim. To provide context for the program overall, let's review what this program is and its goals. The Great Start Compensation Payment Program is a nation-leading program that gives permanent funding to support increases in compensation and benefits to child care providers like you. The program began in October of 2023 with $618.4 million allocated over the first 4 years alone in funding. This funding is permanent and will continue for the state. Currently, the application is managed through an Adobe experience and sent via email. The purposes of a project that took place starting late 2023 into 2024 was to shift the application process to the Provider Hub. That's what brings you here today. The application will have its own tab for providers to manage their current applications and to be able to see historic information related to applications and payments. Recording data on attendance and enrollment is a requirement with legislative statute to be eligible for this funding. This functionality with enrollment and attendance will be developed gradually and continue to be enhanced within the Provider Hub. Submitting daily attendance and enrollment information as part of the Great Start application will not be required until all providers are utilizing the hub. The Great Start compensation feature will also be a phased rollout beginning in July 2024. Starting July 2024, all child care centers licensed or certified by the state will apply for Great Start compensation funding by completing their application in the Provider Hub. Licensed family child care centers and tribally licensed child care programs will continue to use the current application process via email until communicated. This Great Start compensation feature in the Provider Hub has been built to be effective, equitable, and efficient with the following impact in mind for you. First, it has been built to be effective with streamlined experiences that provide a centralized space for providers like you to apply for and manage payments as a key opportunity for your business. It has been built to be equitable. Data-driven insights will inform evaluation, reporting, and program integrity investigations that ensure funding is going to programs that meet requirements and that providers have increased transparency into historic and real-time data related to your payments. It has been built to be efficient. Increased automation will reduce the administrative burden for all, providing relief for program staff to focus on program integrity, community engagement, and continuous quality improvement. Overall, this initiative aims to find the best ways for providers like you to continue to receive key funding and benefits. We hope this helps providers so that you can provide the best care possible to Minnesotan children and families. Through sessions speaking with providers throughout the state, the product team designing the solution heard some perspectives with the experience of the Great Start compensation support application before it moved to the Provider Hub. This slide shows key pain points providers like you shared and highlights benefits we've defined through moving the application to the Provider Hub. Before moving to the Provider Hub, providers noted that fields require manual entry, often multiple times, for data. In the Provider Hub, the data you've already entered will auto-populate into your application, reducing your need for manual entry, unless there's a good reason for it not to auto-populate, such as the need to have security or for your confirmation. We also heard that providers have trouble accessing their applications when the authorized agent is out of town or has issues with their email. Moving to the Provider Hub eliminates the reliance on one person receiving the application and allows authorized agents to choose who can support completing their application with a consistent location for staff to help. Lastly, before June of 2024, providers only had about 1 week to complete their Great Start compensation application. Responding to an identified need for more time, we have extended the application period so that starting in June of 2024, it will open each month on the 10th at midnight and close on the 23rd of each month at 11:59 p.m. The application itself is largely the same. Kim, let's show a side-by-side example next.
Sounds good, Allegra. Today, you receive an email version of the Great Start Compensation Support application. And in the future, the same questions will be asked, just in a different location. To Allegra's earlier point about sometimes it being difficult to track down the emailed application, the Provider Hub is your go-to location for all things related to Great Start Compensation Support. Here you'll see the emailed application on the left that you get today. Then on the right side, you'll see the same information captured in the Provider Hub application. The major difference being that the Provider Hub has a stepper that will walk you through each question and will save all progress so that you can stop and restart the application at any time during an open application period. So we've talked about the Provider Hub, about Great Start, and about how the application itself is very similar to what you do today. Now let's get a tour of the Provider Hub so you can get comfortable with navigating around. Provider Hub Tour. The Provider Hub is a centralized, consistent location for providers to manage payments and applications, as well as increase the Department of Human Services' ability to effectively, equitably, and efficiently distribute funding to stabilize and grow Minnesota's childcare industry. The Provider Hub portal will allow you to navigate to the following places. The Home tab is where DHS and program announcements will be shared. The Apply for License or Certification tab is where all functionality for licensure exists, including new licenses, renewals, and more. If you select My Programs, you'll be able to view all licenses providers have access to in the system. The Great Start Compensation tab is for monthly application and payment information specific to Great Start Compensation Support Payment Program. The Enrollment and Attendance tab is where providers will enter data in support of the Great Start Compensation Support application. The Help and Resources tab, also found when selecting More, is to access training videos, frequently asked questions, to submit a support case, and access other resources. This landing page has additional functionality, including a keyword search at the top. Help and Resources can be accessed from 2 different locations on the Provider Hub main page. Along the top, users will see a tab labeled Help and Resources. Depending on the size of your browser window, this may be titled More with a drop-down. Or at the bottom of the page, users will see the option to Connect with Product Support. Both locations will redirect users to a new web page. Here, providers can search for knowledge articles using a keyword, get help from technical assistance by starting a support case, or check the status of a previously created support case. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the notification bell. This will show you the number of new notifications for you to review. Users will also be able to see their profile name in the upper right corner. If you select your profile name, you'll be able to make changes to your experience, like updating your profile or language preference. We have knowledge articles in the Help and Support tab of the Provider Hub if you'd like to learn more about updating your profile and/or language preference. There are 4 types of notifications you can expect from Great Start Compensation in the Provider Hub. The first is when the application window has opened and you're able to begin the application for that round of funding. The second notification is when the application will close in 1 week. This is a warning to remind you to complete your application. Third, there will be a 24-hour notification before the application period ends. And last, you'll get a notification if your application was approved and you can expect payment. In the Provider Hub, an approved application that will receive funding is called a funding award. Note that these notifications will go to specific kinds of users in the Provider Hub. So if you're a certified provider, you may have some team members that cannot see these notifications if they are only in the Provider Hub for a specific reason. This is on purpose. We want to be sure we only are notifying people in the Provider Hub that can do the action that the notification is associated to. Notifications serve many purposes, so you may see notifications from other areas in the Provider Hub too. The 4 that we've discussed today are all specifically related to Great Start Compensation support. With that, we've reached the end of our overview video. We are grateful for your time and appreciative of all you do for the children of Minnesota. Thank you for joining.